The G.I. Joe motor pool keeps on growing. The first VAMP is complete, the second VAMP is on its way, and the third VAMP is starting to print a chassis right upstairs. What's up, Internet? Jay here with Nerd Rage Against the Machine. Today we're going to talk about the VAMP, specifically the 3D printed VAMP. This is the first one that I've got completed. I'm going to be building two more. As you can see, the chassis for one's here. Parts of the front are there. Upstairs, you might even hear the whirring of a 3D printer going. The chassis for number 3 is being printed along with parts to make this one go. My plan is to print at least 3 of these, one of which is going to be mine, one of which is going to be for Grindhead Jim, and the third of which I intend to raffle off once I hit 100 subscribers. So, with no further ado, let's actually take a better look at the VAMP. Now for a closer look at the VAMP. This is a fully printed VAMP. This was printed in PLA and then painted. You can see I tried to do a little bit of airbrushing on the tires to give it some mud, and I also spray painted the hubcaps in chrome. Detail-wise, I think it came out really well. And then for scale, here is what the Ram with breaker would look like aside it. Again, looks right at home in my opinion. You can definitely tell the difference between a 3D printed and a molded model, but you also get the added benefit with the 3D printed of having a little more freedom to customize. As you can see, I did the headlights a little differently. This centerpiece here was actually printed in black, and I was running low on olive green paint, so it came out a little darker, but I kind of like that. The tow hook here was inked in a black ink, Games Workshop Nuln Oil, to give it kind of a more detailed look. You can also see from this angle Duke and Zap. The gas cans are, of course, removable, just like on the original toy. And despite what some toy gurus will tell you about 3D printing, is it possible to articulate 3D printing? Yeah, look at that, wheels going. Gun up top does the same up, down. Now, there is actually a handle in there that could go in. I left it out because I think it looks better without it. Since this part does not do the whole pom-pom movement of the original toy, I figure there's really no point in giving it that weird little lever out the back. You can see here, this is a second gun I've already got printed. So again, we're moving along with other parts, that's for sure. And right now, I think that this first one came out really well. And as you can see here, we have the chassis, as well as the other body that we're working on for an additional VAMP. As I said, there will be 3 of these that I'm going to produce. This one, I did some other weird things with it, one of which is the hubcaps on this one are actually printed in resin. And I also have the same thing with the taillights. They're going to be in resin to kind of give a more clear look. This is a pretty big little model to put together, but with a little patience, it works out really well. All in all, I'm happy with the results, and I can't wait to see how all 3 of them turn out. So there you have it. That's kind of where we are at with VAMP production at this point. I probably won't be shipping anything out till post-Christmas, just because of the rush and the fact that there's so much crap going on there. Also, I do want to say that the third one that I plan to raffle of these after I hit 100 subscribers, one thing I hope to do is once I get whoever it is that wins, I'm going to reach out to them specifically and determine if it's actually something they want. If not, I'll raffle it again. This is because I know that my channel is kind of eclectic. I do a lot of stuff on RPGs and video games and other stuff as well, comic books. So I don't want to assume that every single one of my viewers is salivating for one of these. I know there are a few, but I don't want to, again, go through the trouble of making one of these and then sending it off to somebody who's like, I don't collect G.I. Joes, I have no interest in this stuff. When I know there are plenty of G.I. Joe collectors who are like, I would happily take one. So if you happen to win the raffle and you are not a G.I. Joe collector, I will come up with something as an alternative and then re-raffle, so that at least this will end up in the third VAMP will end up in a collector's hands. As of right now, like I said, the chassis, which I'm just gonna real quick pop this stuff apart. Oops, sorry. This is the chassis piece. This right now is being printed. The third one of these is being printed upstairs. I'm still printing additional parts as well. I should have all 3 VAMPs done before the Christmas holiday, but again, I'm going to wait until after Christmas before I send out any other big parcels, just because of the sheer crappiness that is the U.S. Postal Service at this point. But in the meantime, again, if I hit 100 subscribers for that, I will let them know. We'll have that all in place, so whoever it is will know that they're getting it. It's just going to be, like I said, probably not till post-Christmas, so that it's just to avoid a lot of the Christmas heartache of transport or of shipping. Saying that, though, any questions, comments, concerns? You want to talk about 3D printing or the VAMP or even G.I. Joe Classified in general? Hit me up in the comments below. In the meantime, I bid you adieu, and yo Joe.